Ultimately, this is not about solving your problems. It's about realizing that there are no problems, only situations to be dealt with now or to be left alone and accepted as part of the isness of the present moment until they change or can be dealt with.
Hello you guys, good morning. Welcome to a new vlog. Woo! Today we have our very first real snow of the year. It is November 24th, so I feel like it's a little bit overdue, but yeah, I literally came down the stairs this morning. I was thinking, like, today's Monday. I was thinking I would maybe go to the studio to work today, but I came down the stairs and saw how much snow there was. I was like, okay, snow day. I'm gonna work from home today, because typically the very first snow day of the year, there's a lot of crashes and fender benders that happen because a lot of people, have been putting on their winter tires or whatever. I'm just gonna have a cozy little time getting to work today. I've really been enjoying putting on jazz while I work, a little like soft background jazz. It really sets the kind of cozy winter vibe. Maybe light a candle, drink some tea, which I have here. I've been drinking genmaicha. That's like my go-to everyday tea. It's delicious and it's cheap, and yeah, it's great. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the vlog. I feel like I already said that, maybe. Yeah, I just got into the studio this morning. It's still like kind of heating up because it goes kind of chilly at night. So I have my tea and my little scarf on at the moment. But yeah, hi. I thought it would be cool maybe to try a little bit of a different format for this vlog and maybe future vlogs. Lately I've been really inspired by Fran Meneses vlogs. I've always been a fan of her. I've always loved her stuff. She is a YouTuber slash illustrator slash graphic novel author slash wonderful seeming human being, and I love her stuff. And yeah, a lot of her recent vlogs have kind of been in a format where she cuts together pieces of like whatever period of time that she was vlogging or whatever, and then rounds it all together through a little commentary thing that flows throughout. So I thought I would try that. So yes, that's what we're doing. Welcome to the vlog. I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. And yeah, let's just get into it. I'm Licha, by the way. Hi, I'm Licha. I am the person who does this channel, obviously. I'm an illustrator slash designer slash art person on the internet, making videos sometimes. So if it's your first time watching me, hello, how are you? Okay. So yeah, it being the beginning of December, or, when I filmed this, it was the end of November coming into December, I had my Patreon mail rewards to finish. And this month, I don't know, I was feeling, like doing something a little like wintry and, maybe not necessarily Christmassy, because at the time that people receive the postcards, it'll probably be after Christmas. So yeah, just like a nice cozy vibe of like snow, and I found some reference of the Japanese countryside in Hokkaido where it snows a lot, and that kind of rural vibe was kind of fresh in my mind because I had just visited my family in Hokkaido and it was getting chilly. So yeah, this is me just like working on the sticker. Something so cute about babies and like toddlers. I'm not a baby guy. I'm not like a huge kid guy at all. I don't really know how to act around kids. They're like cute or whatever, right? But I'm not like, you know, I'm not really the type to, you know, be baby crazy or like want to spend time with babies and kids. But something that is undeniably probably the cutest thing about kids and winter together is when like a baby or a toddler is just like bundled up and like so fucking immobile in their snowsuit or like all of their layers of, you know, warmth or whatever, and they just like can barely move, and I think it's adorable. So I wanted to put that vibe into this month's sticker. Which little Patreon plug here, if you want this sticker and the postcard that comes along with it, you can sign up to my mail tier on Patreon anytime before the end of the month, and I'll send it to you. Thank you very much. Sorry. Good morning, you guys. Wow, we're crooked. Hello? I thought we were level. We're so crooked. That's pretty insane. Okay. Hi, good morning. It's Tuesday today, and I thought I would come into the studio for my little work day or whatever. And yeah, in that last shot, I was just realizing how dry my hands are. So please excuse me while I apply lotion. How are you guys doing? I am doing well. This past weekend, I don't know, I feel like I was joking with Brandon about this. I feel like this is a common pattern in my life where I like, it's usually after periods of like lows or whatever. I'll like go through a little low period, kind of think about my life and, you know, reflect a little deeper than I usually would. And then I would come out of that with like a new kind of resolve or like a new thing that I am wanting to try with my life, or a new way of seeing things, or, you know, something to kind of pull me out of that kind of state of lowness and slowness. I feel like over the years, you know, it's become a little bit easier or a little bit less of like a big jolt. My state between like the slow and low to the high and productive, just because like I am a little bit more, you know, forgiving of myself and a little bit more, I give myself a little bit more grace and that kind of thing. And so when I am in the lower kind of slower periods or whatever, it's not as much of a, oh God, get me out of this state immediately kind of vibe from me. It's more of like a, okay, this is where we are. Let's, you know, be here and figure it out and whatever. So anyways, this past little period, I feel like because of all of the travel I was doing and I was busy for a really long time, my days were very full for like about a month and a bit, like 5 weeks. My trip to Japan, and then immediately after I went to California. So coming home after that, firstly I was sick. I still kind of have like the symptoms. I don't know if you guys can tell. It's been like over 2 weeks. So I don't know what happened. I think it's just like lingering. I'm just like trying to get rid of the mucus, that kind of point in a sickness. But yeah, so that all happened. I was sick, and then I came home, and it was back to normal life, back to work, and it was kind of like a slow, a slow kind of settling, getting used to normal life again. And it's like winter now and stuff, the days are getting shorter, so I did feel a little bit, like, sad. I was a little, like, kind of low in those, couple weeks or week and a half or whatever after coming back. So that was my state, and then what happened? I don't know. I'm always very aware of like my daily life habits and stuff like that. And so for a while during that low period, I was like allowing myself to, indulge in Netflix and, do the things that are comforting to me because I needed it at that point. And I still kind of do. Winters are a little bit hard. It's, when it's evening time and it's pitch black outside. Yeah, it's, it's comforting to have something kind of on in the background. I kind of, was aware of that at that point, and then I kind of like wanted to reevaluate and, take inventory, I guess, of my life and my time. And then so I kind of thought, like, what if I, give myself a little bit of structure day to day again? Because working freelance, I've gone through a bunch of different modes, I guess, of how I structure my days or how I don't structure my days. I've tried like, by the hour scheduling. I've tried completely free, open, do whatever. And I don't really know what the balance is. I'm still trying to find it. But I felt like coming out of where I was in the past couple weeks or whatever, a little bit of structure would be helpful. So yes, I've decided to, try and like, this is kind of like how my days would go anyways, try and like, do my little morning routine or whatever, and then either start work at home, start work at a cafe, go to a cafe if that feels good for whatever work I'm doing for that day, or come to the studio by like between 9 and 10 or 9 something, 10 something kind of vibe. And so yeah, that's what I'm doing today. I'm at the studio, and I'll work a little bit in the morning, and then around the afternoon, actually have a therapy consultation. If you watched my videos, I forget when I stopped going to therapy, but in the past I would go to therapy once a month. And then I think earlier this year I stopped because things were feeling pretty good and I wanted to save money. It was getting expensive, and I wanted to, open up some budget in my life for a studio space. And so now I have the studio space, and, this is great and whatever. But I feel like it being winter and all that, the days being shorter, I am looking for ways to kind of like enrich my daily life, my day-to-day, my time. So yeah, I have a consultation for some therapy. It's like with an intern therapist, so it's like much more affordable. And honestly, like, I don't really feel like I need like the best, most experienced therapists in the world. I just want like somebody to talk to and somebody to periodically check in with about mental health specifically. I feel like that's the biggest thing that I enjoyed about when I was in therapy. So yeah, that's in the afternoon. And then I'll probably go to the gym and then keep working or whatever. So that's the plan. I really am kind of craving some like sketchbooking time or just like some reading time. I mentioned in a previous vlog that I got a bunch of art books. I was making my way through a David Hockney book Months ago. Like, I started it in the... it's at the bottom of my pile here. So I gotta move a bunch of shit. 1 second. Woo! Yeah, I was making my way through it, I believe, after my, like, figure drawing course had ended or whatever, because I was feeling very inspired and very, like, I wanted to read more about other artists and whatever. And yeah, it's very interesting so far. I forget if I put a... Yes, I did. Okay, I did mark where I left off. So yeah, I'm only, like, I've just barely started, but it's basically going through his life right now, David Hockney, and his works and stuff. So yeah, I'm kind of feeling like it would be nice to keep going with this, and, you know, if I feel like sketchbooking, then allowing myself to do that, and yeah. Should be a nice cozy day. I'm wearing a big cozy sweater. I have my tea, and I'll probably put on some soft jazz again. Maybe switch it up. Maybe put on some Christmas jazz. Maybe not. It's not December quite yet, so maybe I'll start putting myself in the Christmassy mood once December actually hits. But for now, I suppose just a cozy winter mood is good enough. Some thoughts reading these pages in this lovely David Hockney book. Excuse the... okay, you guys are cool. Yeah, I love looking at artist biography books like this. I think it's so... I don't know, it makes me feel so inspired. I feel like especially, I don't know, David Hockney, like it seems as if, like, he's an old man now, right? He's still living? He was an old man? David Hockney. Okay, he's alive. Yeah, he started painting at a young age, and still makes art to this day, and to be able to go through, I don't know, all of the steps and all of the little styles that he explored, and, you know, just the story of this creative life is so inspiring to me, and it reminds me that, like, I can do anything with my life, you know? I look at the paintings and the sketches and the art that he has made, and reading all of the, like, backstory and everything, and reading about his life around those paintings, or what his life was like at the time of making those paintings. And it just reminds me that, like, I can do that. It makes me, you know, imagine myself making paintings and drawings and just, like, I'll overlay some stuff, but just, like, you know, shitty, quick little sketches, and just the amount of output that he had, and it seemed like he was painting all the time, and, you know, making a painting wasn't such a crazy, huge act. It was just as natural as, like, breathing, right? It's just a part of life, and that's something that I've, you know, dreamt of and looked at as something that I would like to acquire in the future, yet it's readily available to me now. I just haven't had the courage to try yet. Or I have tried, but, you know, it's a slow kind of progression. So yeah, that's just some of the thoughts that I've been having looking at this book right now. Yeah. So coming to the studio during winter has been interesting. So I got this studio space, if you would have seen just like a couple of videos or whatever. I moved in, it was the summer. My first month here was July. So like my introduction to the space was very summery and warm, and, you know, it was beautiful outside, beautiful and bright. And now kind of getting to know the space with snow outside and it being cold, and like coming in and, you know, making a hot tea, and having to turn the heat on and stuff like that. It's different, but it's like just as charming. I feel like, I don't know, there is like a certain charm or a certain sense of warmth, I guess, that comes from, you know, getting into the studio, this like space that, you know, is for you and for your art and whatever, and just like kind of having to, I don't know, warm it up in the morning, or, you know, it's a little, it's just kind of sitting there waiting for you, and your presence makes it cozy, or your presence is what makes it warm, or like, I don't know, just like the vibe of like going somewhere and it's like not, it's a little rough and tumble, you know what I mean? That just is kind of a nice feeling, I think. Maybe it's like me romanticizing, like, I don't know, an artist being in like a studio warehouse or whatever, and they're just like, you know, painting and making ends meet and shit like that. I don't know, it probably is a lot of that, but I'm liking it a lot so far. It's nice. So I've had two therapists in the past, and both of them, like, I really liked. I didn't really have a problem with either of them. I just stopped going because I felt like I had enough, or it was like a budget thing. Yeah, and I think in therapy, typically, like, I don't know. Good morning. 1 second, I left my bathroom light on. Hey, what's up? It's Wednesday today, and I have decided to give myself today to be a bit of an art day. So yeah, I am going to head back to the studio today, but before I do, I'm gonna take a little trip to our favorite place, IKEA. Yeah, this week is Black Friday week, Black Friday is in a couple days, so there's a bunch of deals going on, and I've been, looking. There's a few things that I want just for the house, but then there are also a few more things for the studio that I thought would be nice to pick up. After that, my studio move-in vlog went up, and, that was all about, like, putting the space together and everything. I got a bunch of, good recommendations and stuff on how I can make the space more cozy, and a bunch of people recommended getting a rug, which initially I was kind of like, hesitant on, because the studio itself is kind of dirty. There's a lot of like dust floating around, and it's like a bay, right? It's like a warehouse type vibe. So I was a little hesitant on the rug, but thinking about it, like, I have a portable vacuum, and I'm thinking I'm gonna get like a little shoe rack and some slippers or something, so I can like take off my shoes when I enter my little studio area. My thing was, like, I didn't want to wear my normal shoes on the rug. So yeah, with the shoe situation, kind of having a plan there, I think I will get a rug. And on sale at IKEA, they have like a new kind of like dark green rug, which will be nice, because the floor in the studio itself also is a little weird. It's like a kind of dark red, or like a almost burgundy. So I was thinking about the color or whatever, but this dark green rug could be a good fit. It's like dark enough that, if it does get a little dirty, that's okay. And yeah, so I'm gonna go grab that, as well as a couple other little things, and maybe hang out in the cafeteria. I saw that they have some new food items, so maybe I'll have lunch there, and then we'll head to the studio and get our day started. So let's go. So yeah, in addition to like the thinking about YouTube and format and whatever, I've also been thinking about Patreon and, what more I can do over there, like how I can structure what I post over there a little bit more. And again, something that I was inspired by Fran is her, she posts these like quiet work sessions, and I've done like quiet work sessions before, whatever. I've posted them on Patreon before. Like if I'm just sitting down to do a little work session or whatever, I'll just pull my camera out and then post a video for people to put on in the background when they're working or whatever. But I didn't really like label it as anything or make it a thing or anything like that. So yeah, I thought I would, try and do that a little bit, and then I can use the footage or some of the footage in these vlogs that as well, I'm trying to make more of like a regular thing again and make less of like this giant hurdle of a thing to edit each time I make a video, and kind of streamline it a little bit more, and also use, you know, the same stuff that I'm doing anyways, that is like me art making and me being creative, on the vlog as well as on Patreon. So yeah, and it's nice to break out like a little piece of my day, or little bits of my week or whatever to dedicate to, you know, art study or exploration or, you know, whatever else. Just like break away and do something that's just for me, not for like a client or not for like a project or anything like that. Just like making art for art's sake, or, you know, studying something for the sake of studying it, you know, just because it's fun. So yeah, that's kind of what I was doing here. If you do want to watch the full version of this silent head study video, that's on my Patreon, so you can check it out there if you would like. So later in the week, I had a ticket to go see a live organ concert of a screening of The Phantom of the Opera. Back a couple months, a client of mine reached out and asked me to do an illustration for a poster for the show. Basically, this musician, Chris Merrick, super talented guy, it's kind of insane, him and his brother put together an original score for the 1925 movie Phantom of the Opera, and they were going to show it, they were going to do a screening in the National Music Center, which is like this beautiful building downtown that's kind of for Canadian music and, you know, celebrating musicians and instruments and all of that kind of thing. They were going to do a concert there with this like really cool organ that like is like a digital replication of a church organ or something like that. And he just played it live while the movie was going. It was kind of surreal. Like at the beginning when he started, it was hard to tell if like the movie was actually playing the audio or if he was playing the audio, but like you could hear his like fingertips like hitting the keys and stuff like that, and then you were reminded like, oh, like if this guy stops playing on this organ, then we're not going to get any audio. The movie itself was muted, and he was just playing the score. And it was incredible. He did it for like the entire run length of the movie. And the movie itself, they did an original cut based on like, there were multiple versions of the Phantom of the Opera, the 1925 version or whatever, that was like exported to like different places or whatever in different periods of time. And so they cut together as close as they could to like the original or like the, you know, one of the versions that like was the best or the most faithful to, I don't know, the book or something like that. So that was really cool. It was super inspiring to, you know, see all of these people that are so passionate about, you know, different kinds of creativity, whether that be movies or, you know, music, and see it come together in such a awe-inspiring way. So yeah, I was super grateful to had been a part of it. Yeah, thank you so much to Calgary Cinematheque and the National Music Center. Okay, good morning. Good morning, you guys. Where did I put my phone? There. Yeah, I thought I would have a little yap sesh with you guys because I feel like it's kind of been a minute. So I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if it's, you know, gonna be obvious or not. I guess it depends on how I edit this, but I'm trying a different vibe or a different format with my videos, or like I kind of have an idea of how I would like to switch it up based on how I have been doing my vlogs in the past, or just like my videos in general in the past. And yeah, because I started filming this on Monday, and I've done week-long videos before, but they were kind of, you know, they had like a concept in mind, like a week in my life or whatever, like the idea was kind of structured. Whereas for this one, I'm trying to kind of be a lot more casual and like find a rhythm or find like a flow with, I don't know, making these videos that I can like do them more consistently or more in like a sustainable way. And I literally can't remember if I was talking about this earlier or not. I feel like maybe I was, but I can't remember if it was who it was to, if it was to you guys or whatever. My memory is kind of horrible for things like that. But anyways, I have been really inspired by Fran Menezes, Franard originally. She's a YouTuber and illustrator and just lovely, joyful human, and she inspires me so much. I've been watching her for a really, really long time, and you know, a little while ago, I hadn't been watching very much, I don't know, just like video media for a while, but with the winter coming in and everything, I let myself like indulge a little bit, and I watched a few of her vlogs, and I was reminded how, like, I don't know, just how warming they are and how much I enjoy them, and watching them, you know, seeing how simple they are and simple they can be. And I feel like that was a good reminder for myself with my vlogs, because in the past, or like, you know, with my videos, I had, you know, vlogged for a really long time, usually over the course of like weeks. A lot of the footage would be like very disjointed, or like I would vlog for a little while and then I would stop vlogging for a long while and then I'd pick up vlogging again, or like I would gather all this footage and then it would just kind of sit there waiting to be edited. And especially with like my last few videos or whatever, you know, I filmed all of those like a long time ago and then didn't get around to the edit for a while. And then by the time that I do edit it, like it's still a fun process, but I feel removed from what was going on in that footage because it was so long ago. So I can't really, it's hard for me to comment on it, or like I feel like a different person, you know, like whatever I was going through or whatever was going on in my life at that moment, I feel disconnected from now because that's the past and I'm here now. So watching Fran's videos, like it seems like the way that she does it or whatever, like the structure of at least like, oh my God, I have a toothpaste stain on my sweater. I don't know if you guys can see that. It seems like the flow or pace maybe of like how she does it is, you know, she films bits and pieces throughout her life and then she edits it together, and it's not like this huge big process, at least from like my perception compared to like how I kind of view my videos. I feel like it needs to be this big thing, and I guess like mostly because I tend to go on and on and on, my yapping, my the length of my videos end up being as long as they do. But now I feel like there's become this precedent of like they should be this long. So sorry, I just got a notification for a meeting that's in 15 minutes, but I'm pretty sure that was moved to later in the day. So yeah, I don't know. I want to switch it up. I want to try something new. I want to see if I can, you know, treat the vlog as something a little bit more casual and give myself the opportunity to like, I don't know, make it less of like a massive stretch of time from vlogging to editing to releasing. Like I want to see if I can shorten that to like smaller chunks of my life so that by the time that I edit it and release it, it still feels relevant to me. And like with the edit, you know, I want to see if I can, like I've been simplifying, I guess. But I want to see if I can do it in like a single sitting or like 2 sittings or something like that. So that's not like this massive fucking undertaking every time. So yeah, that is the YouTube situation update. But yeah, like I said, it is Friday. So Fridays I usually take a little bit easy. I do have that meeting. I have that meeting in, I'm pretty sure, like an hour and a half. Not in 15 minutes. not in 13 minutes now. And it snowed a bunch last night, so I need to clear snow before that. But yeah, I got most of my like client work done that I needed to get done this week yesterday. So the plan is to give myself time to work on my comic that I started fucking 2 summers ago. I'm pretty sure. Was it? I hope it was 2 summers ago, not 3 summers ago. That would be kind of crazy. Yeah. When was it? Last time I was in the studio, I like kind of, had a little meeting with myself, or like, opened up the things, the like files and, the things that I had been working on for the comic for the first time in a long time. And because it's such like a project, like when I started it, it was such a project. Like I figured out the story, I did all the thumbnailing and everything. And then now I just have to kind of like do the pages, do the art. And so now it's like the grind stretch, I guess, like all of the figuring out and the fun imagination stuff is done. And now it's like, I just got to do it. Right. And so I feel like for the longest time I had been putting off just doing it, thinking that it was like this big thing that I need to figure out how to start back up again. So I sat down and kind of like made myself like a little checklist or whatever, something visual that I can look at when I go into the studio to like help me and remind me of like, oh, there's this thing that I can do, or this thing that I'm working on that I would like to finish. And doing that, a realization came over me of like, oh, okay, there's like not much to really figure out. I've figured out everything. Everything is laid out for me. I kind of just gotta do it. There's no trick here. It's just, I just gotta do the thing. I just gotta do the pages. And that's like, I feel like for a lot of projects or a lot of things that I want to do or that I build up in my mind of like this big grand future thing that eventually I would like to finish or like get to or like, try or whatever. Those things are not as big and crazy as I make them out to be in order to like put them off because I tell myself I'm not ready yet. If I bring them closer and if I just set them down as like, okay, this is going to happen now. I can do this now. It's like not a huge deal. You just kind of got to do it. Like thinking of like starting a painting or something. It's like, oh, I have this idea for a painting. Yada, yada, yada. You can plan it out. You can do the thumbnail. You can, figure out the concept or whatever. And then from there, you just got to do it. You know what I mean? It's like one foot in front of the other. And the now is the only time that you can do anything. So to constantly be thinking of it as a future thing that eventually you will get to, it's like chasing a bone on a stick, The only way forward is to do it now. Because if you keep pushing it back, the now will keep happening and you'll keep pushing it back, you know what I mean? So yes, that's kind of like a realization that I'm having, and I'm doing my best to be brave, and I'm gonna try and just fucking do it, because of course the thing that like holds me back from doing the thing is fear that I'm not good enough, or that whatever I put down on paper will be not good enough, or the art won't be up to my and everyone's expectation, because everybody's looking at me and expecting things of me at all times, always me and nobody else. Which, you know, we've been through this, is absurd. So it's just like, you know, mind tricks that I am aware of that are just keeping me from doing the thing that I want to fucking do. So yeah, that is the plan for today. I'm gonna get to clearing some snow, and yeah, I will chat with you guys later, or I'll see you in the studio or whatever, and we'll get to doing some of those comic pages that you know, the only person who's gonna do them is me. So better get around to that. Okay.
That's actually his own mother I was feeding him when I recorded that. I fell asleep, so I'm a little late. I don't know how long today's stream's gonna be, but... So that is all that I have in terms of footage for this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Thank you so much as always. Let me know what you think about this format. I feel like it is a nice kind of way to make it all kind of feel cohesive. It's nice to like review my footage and like do the storytelling or do any kind of additional, you know, voiceover or whatever that I might have missed while I was like filming or yapping or whatever. And I feel like this is a little nicer than just like my you know, omnipresent voiceover vibe that I just like kind of cut in sometimes. That's nice too, but I feel like having a video where I can like directly speak to you guys is nice as well. So let me know what you guys think. This guy as well, I filmed within a single week, and like I said, maybe at some point in this video, yeah, I'm gonna try and, you know, shorten the periods of time in which I'm filming, at least for these like regular vlogs, unless I have like a specific idea for a video that needs to, you know, span a little bit of a longer period of time. But for the most part, I feel like this feels good because, you know, like I said, like looking back at this footage and stuff, I remember, you know, what was going on through my head, or, you know, what things I had in my mind that I might want to say at this point when I'm, you know, filming this bit. So yeah, that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. This video is sponsored by me. This video is sponsored by my Patreon. So if you want to support me and support, you know, me making these videos and me making my art and, you know, whatever else, I would very much appreciate it if you wanted to check out my Patreon. Like I said, I have a few tiers that, you know, give a few different things, namely the postcard and sticker mail tier is really popular. If you want to get that postcard and sticker for the month, you can sign up, like I said, anytime this month, and I'll mail that out to you. Otherwise, I have a couple other tiers, and yeah. I'm trying to post, you know, more interesting stuff or like more frequent stuff on there, so check it out if you would like. And thank you very much. And to the people that are already my patrons on patreon.com /leechhuts, thank you so much. As always, here they all are. Here are the people that are supporting me this month on my Patreon, and I am so grateful to you guys. Thank you so much, as always. I hope you guys are enjoying the stuff. Let me know what you think. As always, if you have any requests or suggestions or ideas or whatever, I'm always happy to hear them for things to do on there and put on there.
So yeah. Mwah. 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 Okay. That is all. That is all. Thank you so much for watching, to everybody. And I hope you all are having a lovely winter. Beginning of winter, beginning of December, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. And summer, I guess, if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, I think, right? Yeah. Can't believe it's already December. Wild. But here we are. Here we are being cozy. It's kind of nice. It is kind of nice. Okay. I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'll see you in the next one. What do I say? What do I say here? I'll talk to you guys in a bit. See y'all in a bit. I'll see y'all in a bit. Okay, bye.